Good morning everyone. Welcome back again. So students, in our last video we have started chapter number 4, that is matter and material, in which we have discussed about the matter, the different materials and the different states of matter like solid, liquid and gas. We have also discussed about the different properties of solid, liquid and gas, and also we have discussed about the difference between the properties of solid, liquid and gas. Okay, so now here in this video we will discuss the rest of the topics of this chapter. So as you all know that basically there are three states of matter: solid, liquid and gas, and these states of matter are interchangeable. So what is the meaning of interchangeable here? Interchangeable means matter can change its form from one state to another. Okay, for example, water when heated can become water vapor. Okay, so if we heat this water or the liquid, so it can become water vapor, it will change into water vapor. Okay, and here the water vapor is a state of gas. So here the liquid changes into gas. It means the one state of matter is changing into another state of matter or another one. Okay, so the process is known as evaporation, the process in which the liquid changes into gas or changes into water vapor, that is known as evaporation. So what is evaporation? When water gets heated, it changes into water vapor, which is its gaseous form, and changing of a liquid into its gaseous form is known as evaporation. Okay, so the process in which the liquid changes into water vapor or liquid changes into gas is known as evaporation. Evaporation is also called as vaporization. Okay, so when a substance changes from a liquid to gaseous state is known as evaporation or vaporization. For example, water boiling on the stove turning into water vapor. If we continuously boil water on the stove, so after some time all the water turns into water vapor, and the process is known as evaporation or the vaporization. Here the heat energy or the heat is needed for this change to occur. So for this change or for this conversion, heat energy is needed. Okay, so in the process of evaporation or in the process of vaporization, the liquid turns into gas state. Now we know that the liquid can be changed into gaseous state, and the process is known as evaporation or the vaporization. Now we can also change this gas state or this water vapor back into the liquid, and the process is known as condensation. Okay, so what is condensation? When the freely flowing particles of water vapor touches a cold surface, they cool down, and changing of gas into a liquid is known as condensation. So what is condensation? Condensation is a process when a substance changes from a gas state to the liquid state. Evaporation is a process when the liquid changes into gaseous state, whereas the condensation is a process when a substance changes from a gas state to the liquid state. For example, water droplets forming on the side of a cold soda can. This is an example of condensation. So in the process of condensation, heat energy needs to be removed for the change to occur, whereas in evaporation the heat energy needs to be added, but in condensation the heat energy needs to be removed for the change to occur. So in condensation the molecules of gas or the particles of gas turns into liquid. Now we know that how the liquid changes into gaseous state and how the gases change into liquid state. Now we can also change the liquid into solid state. How? The process in which a substance changes from a liquid to the solid state is known as freezing. For example, water turning into an ice cube when placed in the freezer. This is an example of freezing. So if we want to change the liquid state into solid state, so what we have to do, we have to just keep the liquid into the refrigerator for some time, and after some time the liquid turns into solid state. For example, water turning into an ice cube when placed in the freezer, and in this case the heat energy needs to be removed for the change to occur. So for freezing we need to remove the heat energy. Okay, here the particles of liquid change into the particles of solid. Now we know that how can we change the liquid into the solid state. We can also change this solid state into liquid state. So the process in which a substance changes from a solid state to a liquid state is known as melting. For example, an ice cube turning into water when taken out of the freezer. If we want to change the solid state of matter into the liquid state, so what we have to do, we have to just keep the ice cubes out of the refrigerator for some time or out of the freezer for some time at room temperature, and after some time these ice cubes turns into water again. Okay, so in this process the heat needs to be added for the change to occur, right? So the melting is a process in which the substance changes from a solid state to a liquid state by increasing the temperature, okay, or by adding the heat. So in this process the particles of solid turns into the particles of liquid. Okay, so this is the process of melting. Now we also know that how the liquid can change into solid and how the solid can change into liquid, how these states of matter can be interchanged. Now we can also change the solid into gaseous state and the gas into the solid state directly without converting into liquid. How? So when a substance changes from a solid state to a gas state directly without becoming a liquid first, so the process in which the substance changes from a solid state to gaseous state without converting into liquid, that process is known as sublimation. There are so many examples of sublimation, like solid CO2. CO2 means carbon dioxide. Solid carbon dioxide becoming carbon dioxide gas, as in dry ice. So dry ice is the example of sublimation. We have some more examples also, like the agarbatti. If we light the agarbatti, so the agarbatti turns into the vapor state without converting into the liquid. Camphor is also an example of sublimation. Naphthalene balls are also the examples of sublimation. Okay, so if we burn the camphor, so the particles of camphor turns directly into gaseous state from the solid state without turning into the liquid state. So in this case the heat energy is needs to be added for the change to occur, and in sublimation the particles of solid directly converts into the gaseous state without converting into the liquid first. So the process is known as sublimation. In this case the heat energy needs to be added. Okay, now we know that how the solid state can be changed into the gaseous state without changing into the liquid state first. Okay, now the next is how the gaseous state turns into the solid state without converting into the liquid state. So the process when a substance changes from a gas state to solid state without becoming a liquid first is known as deposition. So the process in which the gas state directly change into the solid state without converting into the liquid state, that is known as deposition. There are so many examples of deposition also. When frost form on a car window, so water vapor comes in contact with cold window, so this frost is an example of deposition. Here the gases change into the solid state. Okay, and in this case the heat energy needs to be removed for the change to occur. So this is known as deposition. So frost is an most important example of deposition. Here the particles of gases directly convert into the solid state without converting into the liquid first. But the condition is that here the heat energy or the heat needs to be removed for the change to occur. So this is known as deposition, right? Now we know that the states of matter can be interchanged. We can change the liquid into gas, we can change the gas into solid, we can change the solid into liquid also, and there are so many processes by which we can change the states of matter. So the states of matter can be interchanged. Now the next topic is solution. So what is the solution? When the two substances mix together such that they are evenly distributed, a solution is formed. Okay, so the substance that dissolve is called the solute and the substance in which it dissolve is called a solvent. Suppose we have sugar and water, lemon and a glass of water, and I have to make a solution. So what I have to do is I have to mix the sugar and lemon in this glass of water, and we have to mix it properly. And after mixing, if the lemon and the sugar dissolve completely in the water, so we get a solution. Okay, here the sugar and lemon are the solute because the substance which we are adding in the liquid is known as a solute, and the water is a solvent because the substance in which the solute is dissolved is known as a solvent. So here the water and the lemon and the sugar are the solute, whereas the water is the solvent. And after mixing or after dissolving the lemon and sugar, we get a solution. So the solution is the solute plus solvent. Okay, it is a mixture of solute and solvent. Let's take one more example. When the salt is added to water, it dissolves to form salty water. Here the salty water is the solution, whereas the salt is the solute and the water is the solvent. And the salty water is known as the solution because it is a mixture of solute and the solvent. Here the solute is the salt and the water is the solvent. Alright. We also know that water is known as a universal solvent because there are so many substances which dissolve in water. That is why water is known as a universal solvent. In water we can dissolve the solid substances also, we can also dissolve the liquid substances, and we can also dissolve the gas also. That is why it is known as a universal solvent. So let's discuss how can we dissolve the solid in water. So whenever we dissolve a solid substance in liquid, so we get a solution, but the condition is that the solid substance should be soluble in water. If we have the soluble solid substance, only then we get a solution. But if we have a insoluble solid substance, so we do not get this solution. In that case, the solute settle down at the bottom of the glass of the solvent and it doesn't mix with the solvent. Okay, so we can only dissolve the soluble substances in water. So when the solute is solvent and when the solute is solid and the solvent is liquid, so we get a sugar solution or the salt solution if the solute is the salt or the sugar. Suppose we are dissolving salt in water, so here the salt is the solute whereas the water is the solvent, and we get a salt solution because salt is completely dissolved in water. Okay, so it is a soluble substance. But if we try to mix the sand in water, so it will not mix in water and it will settle down at the bottom of the glass. So it means the sand is not soluble in water or it is insoluble in water. So there are two types of soluble substances. One is the soluble substance which dissolve in water, and the another is the insoluble substance which do not dissolve in water. So the sugar and salt both are dissolved in water, so they can form a sugar solution or the salt solution. We can also dissolve the liquid in liquid and we get a liquid solution. So this type of solution is formed when the solute and solvent are both liquids. For example, milk in water. So if we try to mix milk in water, so it completely mix in water. So that means they are the miscible liquids. The liquids which mix in the solvent or the liquid which dissolve in the solvent are known as miscible liquids, whereas those liquids which do not dissolve in water, they are known as immiscible liquids. So milk is a miscible liquid because if we try to mix the milk in water, so it completely dissolves in water or it completely mixes in the water. So it means they are the miscible liquids. Okay. So when the milk is mixed in water, they dissolve completely. Similarly, when ink is mixed in water, it also dissolves completely in water. Okay, so ink is also a miscible liquid. But if we try to mix oil in water, so what will happen? Oil does not dissolve in water and it forms a separate layer on the surface of water. It means oil is completely immiscible in water. So the liquids which do not mix in water and those liquids which form a separate layer on the surface of water, they are known as immiscible liquids. We can also dissolve gases in liquids. So this type of solution is formed when the solute is gas and the solvent is liquid. For example, the carbonated drinks. If we dissolve the gases in liquid, so what we get? We get carbonated drinks. It is an example of the gas dissolved in liquid, because in carbonated drinks the gases are dissolved in the liquids. You can see here also, here the gases dissolve in liquids. The oxygen is dissolved in water of the water bodies which the aquatic animals breathe. Okay, so this is also an example of gas dissolved in liquid. Now the last topic of this chapter is expansion and contraction. So whenever an object is heated, so it increases in size or it expands, and this is called as expansion. So in expansion, whenever we heat any object, so it increases in size, okay, or it expands. And if the same object is cooled down, so it decreases in size, that is known as a contraction. So if we cool down the same object, so the size of the object decreases, and this is called as the contraction. So expansion occurs on heating, whereas the contraction occurs on cooling the object. So whenever we buy a new jar, so and its lid is completely airtight and we are unable to open it, so then we gently heat the lid and it easily open the jar, because here the expansion works to open the lid. Okay, because by heating the size of the object increases, that is why the lid open up very quickly or very easily. On the other hand, if the substance is cooled down, its molecules slow down, and due to the decrease in the movement, they occupy the less space than the earlier, and finally the substance decreases in its size or contracts, and this decrease in the size of the object on cooling is known as the contraction. But in case of water, the volume of water increases on freezing and it expands. Okay, so the water is the expansion. So with this we have reached towards the end of this chapter. I hope you have understood this chapter very well. Thank you and see you in the next video.